Hello, everyone. My name is Quinn. This is my MMA betting podcast. I'll eventually come up with a name for it. That's kind of the least of my worries. But we're back again for UFC Vegas 35. It's a pretty sweet card, solid main event. Um, I am joined today by Narcocop MMA. You can find him on Twitter at Narcocop MMA. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Thanks for having me, Quinn.
Good. Thanks for coming on. I'm also joined by my good friend Marathon MMA. You can find him on Twitter at Marathon MMA. How you doing, man?
Good, man. Glad to be here. Let's break down these fights.
Fuck yeah, man. And last but not least, I got Andrew of MMA Knockout Bets coming on. How's it going, my friend?
What's up, dude? Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Stoked to have you on. All right, so we got a lot of fights to talk about, so we're just going to get into it here. The first fight of the night, we have a matchup between Mana Martinez and Guido Canetti. Knockercop, I'll start with you. What do you think?
So, I see a lot of violence in this fight. We know that Mana Martinez has a huge left hand. He's a good striker. We don't really know too much about it, the other part of this game, other than he got subbed by Draco on the Contender Series, and I think another regional fight where I saw him on his back, where he tried to pull guard. I think he tried to go for a guillotine, and he got on his back for a little while. But other than that, we've never really seen him really tested. The guy is really powerful, that we could see. Most of his knockouts are like one punch knockouts. So like the dude has a lot of power. But I'll say, I kind of feel like, the line, with this line, like they're kind of giving him too much credit, where he's, he was somewhere in the 300 range, at one point. And I think now it's kind of some late money's coming in on Guido, but he's still like in 275 range. And I know Guido's 42 years old, but the dude throws a hard straight left hand. He throws hard kicks. He's not the most durable dude, but when you go back and watch that Marlon Vera fight, and we all know Marlon Vera is very durable, but he hurt Marlon Vera in the first round pretty bad. And he had him rocked, man. He hurt him bad. So I understand Mana Martinez can knock him out. And that's probably, because when Guido throws his left hand, he drops his right hand. So he's open for that left hook, which is Mana Martinez's punch. But I'm not going to discount the fact that, Guido might be able to land and probably hurt Mana, because we don't really know his chin. We haven't seen him tested. So for me, the best play here for me is the under 1.5. I put a unit at plus 110. The way Guido fights and the way Mana fights, it's just violence. So it's a violence bet for me. But, I'm scared to put Mana Martinez in my parlays at that price, to be honest.
Yeah, I completely agree. I laid one unit on Canetti earlier in the week. I think I got plus 264. I just think this line is kind of crazy. Like you said, we don't have like a ton of sample size on Mana's chin and his ground game, and we know that he has power. He's going to come to throw, but so is Canetti, especially in that first round. Canetti's going to come and throw the kitchen sink at him. He's going to throw everything he has at him. He's going to wrestle. He's going to really try to get him out of there, like he does pretty much every single fight. So I don't really understand why the line is so wide as it is. I do favor Mana. I think he is the better puncher, and if he can outlast Canetti, he definitely has the cardio advantage here. But in the first couple of rounds, it's going to be pretty hairy. And both these boys are going to throw. So I just thought the line was wide, and I laid one unit on Canetti here at plus 260. Plus 264. And I definitely don't mind the violence play on the under. Especially if you got plus money on it. I was hoping that they would have a decent under 2.5 line, but I'm not a huge fan of it. So I just laid the ML on Canetti. Marathon, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the line is actually justified. We fade 135ers when they're at 33, 35, let alone 41. and coming off a 1-year layoff, finished in all 5 losses. So I do think the number is justified because Mana actually does crack for the division. He's big, he's powerful, and he goes for it. And he's probably going to go for it early here too. So I do agree the under 1.5 is solid, but I also do like Mana inside the distance -125. Guido's not going to have much form outside the first few minutes of the fight. So and Mana's going to probably really push for the finish early. So I'm not in the business of laying underdog money on a 41-year-old 135er off a 1-year layoff, So I do think Mana rolls here, probably gets the finish early.
Cool. Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you guys touched on a lot of good points. I agree with the violence thing. I'm on the under 1.5 at plus money. I'm on fight doesn't go to the distance at like -196. Beat the closing line by like 100 points there. I'm on Kennedy money line as well. Quinn, you got a nice price on that. I think that's too wide for sure. I mean, Mana's fought really no one. He's just been fortunate to kind of catch some guys the right way, and they went down quick. I was looking to fade him in his last fight too, before it got scrapped, but I don't see the appeal here with Mana as being -350 to someone who took a round off Marlon Vera a couple of fights ago. I don't know. It's just not my kind of spot. So I'm definitely attacking this one from a couple different angles, but none of them are reliant on Mana covering -400 in his UFC debut here.
Agree 100%. Cool. So we move on. We have a fun matchup here. We got Jamal Emmers taking on Pat Sabatini. I'll start with you, Andrew. What do you got here?
Yeah, so I got in on Emmers when it was evens. This is like one of the first fights I taped on the card because I had a feeling that I'd be wanting to play it. And sure enough, he's -150 now. I think that probably is closer to right, but still not wide enough. I think I favor Emmers pretty heavily on the feet here. I think he's a much better striker. He's bigger, and I think that he'll have the wrestling to nullify Sabatini's grappling game, which is his bread and butter. And also, I was on Sabatini pretty big against Tristan Connolly. I didn't like how he slowed down late in the fight. I like Sabatini overall as a prospect. I just think this is a tough match for him. I think I'm going to take him.
Yeah, I completely agree here. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get Emmers at -110. I think that's a pretty solid line. I do think that Sabatini is going to win a lot of fights in the UFC. He has some absolutely fantastic jiu-jitsu, but I definitely I'm not a huge fan of his wrestling. I think it's definitely talked up quite a bit. I think Emmers, like you said, he definitely has the wrestling to nullify him here, and he has a pretty insane advantage on the feet. And yeah, all the same red flags, slowing down versus round 3 versus Connolly. He was getting pieced up. Connolly was actually winning the wrestling exchanges in the 3rd round and took the 3rd round off of him. Didn't like how he slowed down there at all. Didn't like that his reactions to when he was getting hit. Emmers is reliable to go forward. He's going to pump out the jab. He's got good volume, good leg kicks. So I definitely think the line should definitely be wider. I'm actually kind of debating on whether I should get in on him now or just look to bet live. I'm not 100% sure yet. I just need to think about it a little bit more. But I didn't tape this fight until a couple of days ago, like I think yesterday actually, and I would have been all over on Emmers earlier in the week.
Real quick, I'm not sure who it is, but someone keeps like making I don't know who that is, but someone that keeps like making I don't know if it's like sniffling or whatever, but like it's pretty loud. I don't know if you guys are getting that too.
I think.
Yeah, no, I think it's Marathon, bro. Just mute it, Marathon.
Cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was clear.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, so I definitely like Emmers. I think you could take a little stab on his round 3. That's for damn sure. But yeah, I think the safest route is to go his money line. Mike, what do you think here?
Interesting fight. Emmers obviously has the advantage on the feet. He's the longer guy, better striker. I like Emmers' game, to be honest. I'm kind of high on him. He has a good overall game, like very good wrestling. His grappling is good. I want to say he's a brown belt. So he's pretty good everywhere. I have Emmers. I took Emmers at -132, kind of early, but not very early. Obviously, you guys got some better lines, but to me, like Sabatini's a very good grappler. Like that's his game. Like he's going to try to get in the clinch. He's going to try to get that body lock on you and take you down. And he does have really good grappling. And I think if he can get this fight to the ground, like he's going to have an advantage down there. But again, like, Emmers has really good wrestling. So I think he's going to be stuffing a lot of these takedowns. He's going to be making them work to try to get this fight to the ground. And then while it's standing, I just think he pieces him up on the feet. I think they're, so the levels on the ground, I give the advantage to Sabatini, but then when you get, to the feet, like it's a huge advantage for Emmers to me. So that's where I see the differences and the huge advantage in striking, the probably better. I would say I would give the wrestling to Emmers a little bit, but the submission grappling is definitely on Sabatini's side. But yeah, I mean, for me, I laid minus 132 on Emmers kind of early, so that's my side.
Cool. Marathon, what do you think?
Yeah, I think if you got in early on Emmers, you look really good right now. I went to go bet him, and I noticed that the line was already gone. So I haven't really put a bet in yet, just because the price now just isn't as appealing. But I do think live betting him after a round would be a good spot. You probably get closer to even money, maybe underdog money, because Sabatini is going to come out hot, probably look to wrestle. And I think the longer the fight goes, the more it favors Emmers. So we kind of all touched that the stand-up shouldn't be very, very close. But, I mean, if you're going to do something safe, I'd probably say the over 2.5, maybe Emmers' decision to get a little bit of price relief because now it's juiced. So those would be my leans.
What is the over 2.5 right now? Oh, no. Okay. We move on. The next fight, we have JJ Aldridge taking on Vanessa Demopoulos. I have no play here. I do think JJ rules. I'm not really a huge fan of Demopoulos' game. I think she's very, very green. I don't like her stand-up at all. She's extremely hittable. I think JJ has some of the best boxing in the division. She's able to come forward and throw. Her technique is absolutely fantastic. I think she's going to piece up Vanessa here. I personally think Vanessa is essentially a guard, sub, or bust. She doesn't really have the wrestling to get JJ worried about anything. And even if she does pull guard and JJ does end up on top of her, I think JJ has a pretty underrated top game in general. Like she knows what to do pretty well on top. So yeah, I don't really have any interest in playing this fight at all, especially not like what is JJ like minus 435 now? Minus 425. Yeah, I don't have any interest in that at all. So it's a pass for me, but I definitely think JJ wins. Mike, what do you think here?
I mean, I love JJ in this spot. Like, dude, like you go back and watch Demopoulos' tape on the regional scene, man. She looks, dude, the girl looks horrible, man. She's not a good striker. She's terrible defensively. She gets literally lit up in almost all those fights. Lupita Godonez lit her up. Like, she's good, I understand. But then you have, like Sam Hughes, like really fucking lit her up in that fight. She got lucky to get that triangle late. Corey McKenna was just taking her down, pounding her. I mean, you watch these girls and you got to think these girls are at 115 and they're pounding her like that. Like now she's moving up at 125. She's extremely tiny. Now she's fighting a girl in JJ Aldridge that, she's got good boxing, dude. This girl has good hands.
Very good hands.
And for the first time, she's going to be the much bigger girl in this ring, dude. Like I just see her piecing up Demopoulos, and like I just feel like it's going to be like one of those mercy KOs where she's just going to batter her on the feet. She's got, Demopoulos has terrible wrestling. I don't think she, if Aldrich wants to get this down on the ground, it's going to be on her terms. It's not going to be on Demopoulos' term. And yeah, Demopoulos has some, good grappling. She throws all these submissions, but like, if Aldrich doesn't want it to go down there, I don't think it's going down there, dude. And like, I just think like Demopoulos has nothing for her on the feet. She's a small girl. She's a 115 pounder. She's moving up to 125. Aldrich has faced, even though she doesn't have stoppages, but you look at some of the competitions she's faced, those girls are durable, bro. You're talking about Courtney
Yep.
Casey, Sabina Mazo, for whatever she is, she's durable, she's tough. Lauren Mueller, Macy Barber, all these girls are really tough. You're not going to be able to get those girls out of there. Now it's a huge step down with Vanessa Demopoulos. I love JJ Aldridge in this spot. I love the under 2.5 at plus 260. I love JJ Aldridge ITD at plus 450. I mean, all those lines, I really love them, and I see her stopping her in this fight.
That Barber fight was a huge, huge bummer. Whoever had a Aldridge in that fight, I still salty about that. Marathon, what do you got here?
Yeah, I do think Aldrich is gonna roll here. It's just hard to justify the price when it's low level women's MMA, of course. But Aldrich is actually not bad. She's not in that tier of shit cans, and she's pretty good. She's got good boxing. She's gonna probably be able to dominate on the mat here. Vanessa does have a really active guard, but Aldrich I think she should be able to keep herself out of trouble. And she's just fought way better competition. You guys are just saying those names and the experience, and Vanessa's 32, 33, just trying to get a spot in the UFC, and she's got no head movement. She's tough, but I just don't see what she really has here. But I'm not gonna feel comfortable putting Aldrich in parlays at that price, because that's similar to the price of like a Petrosky or a Miradov, who I'd feel much more comfortable putting in a parlay at that price. So, but yeah, she should roll here. And like Mike said, the inside the distance plus 450. If she's ever going to get a finish in her career, this would be it. This would be the matchup for her to get it in. And, but yeah, just what is Vanessa good at? There's not, besides an active guard, and she's good at being a nail. She's good at being a
Pretty
nail.
much.
She's tough. She's good at being a nail, and she's got an active
She's good at
guard.
stripping.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I think I do like Aldrich here. Just don't trust the price.
Andrew, what do you got for me?
Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much covered all of it. Price seems about right to me. JJ 8 out of 10, 8.5, 8.5 out of 10. Inside distance might be worth a pop, maybe round 3, but other than that, you guys drove it home.
Cool. We'll keep on rolling again. We have Dustin Jacoby taking on Darren Stewart. Mike, I know you got some stuff to say about this, so I will start with you.
Well, initially I didn't. I kind of stayed away from this fight, but then I taped it kind of late, and like Stewart to me is going to be the much smaller guy here at 205. Like, I don't think the guy is a 205er. He's probably a 185er at best. He's fighting a pretty big dude in Jacoby, who's a glory kickboxer. He's got really good kickboxing skills. Guy uses range well. Like Stewart, like, what to me it's like, what's his path to victory here? And the only path I honestly see is like him landing some bomb on Jacoby, who to me is actually really durable. Like, the dude can take a punch. Like, I know he got hurt in the Grisham fight, but Grisham's a heavyweight dude. That guy's not a 205er. He's a massive 205er when he fought him. And like, I just don't see the path for Stewart here. Even if he is to land these takedowns, like, Stewart is not good on top, dude. Like, and Jacoby's takedown defense is not shit either. Like, and he's not the type of guy that's just going to stay on his back or lay there. So I feel like this fight's going to be standing most of the time. And if it's going to be standing most of the time, Jacoby's going to be winning, in the 75% range to me, standing. Like, Stewart doesn't have anything other than just that bomb, that meme knockout. Other than that, like, I think he pieces up Stewart on the feet. But I haven't played it yet, but because the line kind of got away from me now, and I'm looking at it now, and it's in the 180 range. So I don't know yet if I'm gonna play it. I just think Jacoby's gonna roll here.
Cool. Marathon, what do you got?
Yeah, so I think Jacoby's definitely the side here. You can't place there. He's a blown up welterweight. That's probably where he should be. Jacoby's got superior footwork, cardio, durability. The jab should be there all day. We saw the jab in the Kutalaba fight look absolutely money. He's got solid takedown defense. He's much bigger. He's legit 205er. He's gonna be able to pump out leg kicks probably early too. And I don't see Stewart probably getting finished here. So I do think Jacoby decision plus 175 would be a good bet to stab. It's just when a dude is 3 or 4 inches taller than you, way more just thicker and bigger and longer. How are you going to get him up against the cage and wrestle him? Like his path is Darren Stewart's path is to wrestle, and he's not even a wrestler. You know what I mean? So, like, look what Fabinski did to him. That's a wrestler. You know what I mean? So it just seems like there's not much of a path here for him, and Jacoby should have him covered pretty much everywhere it goes. So I will give Stewart the respect that he probably doesn't get finished here, and I think it probably goes to decision. So Jacoby decision plus 175 is what I would lean.
Cool. Andrew, what do you got?
Yeah, again, think you guys pretty much covered it. I agree that Jacoby probably wins. Haven't made a play on it. I'm just going to monitor the line as the next couple days go on and kind of see what's what. But agree with the fact he should win standing. Kind of hard to see Stewart winning a decision where he wrestles a lot. I mean, Kutalaba had some success early, but he's bigger, better wrestler, et cetera, et cetera. So I think Jacoby's probably like 70% here.
Yeah, I have no play at all here. I kind of think I do think that the Jacoby rolls, but I do think the line could be, I don't know, 38% is a little much for me. Stewart is liable to come forward and throw, and he does have power. I do think he's going to have trouble with Jacoby's footwork and his jab, but he does come forward and he will throw, and that just kind of worries me in this spot. I don't think he's going to really have much wrestling success, and like Mike said, even if he does, I don't really think he's going to be holding Jacoby down. I don't know. I don't really have much interest in playing this fight at all, especially now that Jacoby's creeping up into like the minus 190s, minus 200 range. So it's definitely a pass for me. But I'm interested in Jacoby's ceiling and the fights that he has after this. All right, so we move on. We have Sam Alvey taking on Wellington Turman. Marathon, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so right here, I'd say Alvey's definitely the side, and it just feels weird saying that. But Turman's really chinny. He just got finished 2 months ago. You know, those times where people get finished and it seems like they just rush back and then it happens again. Seems like that could be a spot here where might have rushed it, maybe needs a paycheck. If he's gonna win, what is he really at? He has to probably grind Alvey, take him down. You're probably not taking Alvey down. He's got good enough takedown defense for me to trust. He's gonna be there late. He's got a solid chin. Turman's not gonna crack his chin, and he's got good power. I mean, the one thing that loses him fights is he just doesn't throw enough, but he should have Turman covered on the feet here. So, and I trust his cardio. I trust him to be there late. You know, I don't really trust Turman, man. So I'd say Alvey inside the distance plus 275 would probably be a good play if you're not really looking to just lay the money line. As far as TKO to inside the distance, there's not a big enough difference for me to get greedy. So probably inside the distance is how it'd go. And we've seen Alvey club and sub before. So, yeah, I just think Alvey's going to be able to keep it standing and probably just find the chin. And if he doesn't find the chin, he probably just wins a decision.
Cool, man. Andrew, what do you got?
Yeah, I took some under 2.5 here when it was minus 110. I think it's pretty like I picture the fight going pretty similarly most times in the sense where I think Turman's going to charge forward, Alvey's going to back to the cage. Turman runs in pretty reckless on the feet, but he hits hard. Alvey hits hard. Both these guys. I mean, what I just forgot his name for a second. What the hell is his name? Who did fucking who did Turman fight in his last fight that knocked him out?
Sanchez?
No,
No,
it was
Silva.
the one. Yeah. Okay.
Silva.
So, dude, that was 2 months ago. Like he's coming. Like that
Yeah.
was literally 2 months ago.
Fucking
So
wild.
he's coming off getting knocked out unconscious 2 months ago. Alvy's been finished. I think it was 4 months ago. He got almost knocked out and then choked unconscious. So I think everything just points to this fight going under. I think Turman's going to charge in. Alvy's going to back to the cage, and then they're going to kind of throw bombs from there. And I think whatever happens after that, it's going to probably end within 12 and a half minutes.
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys. I definitely think Alby is the side. This is another fight that I'm kind of just debating on laying the ML on Alby here, which I probably will, but by Saturday. I'm just not impressed with Turman. I've pretty much faded him in every fight. You know, he got knocked out by Andrew Sanchez. Who does Andrew Sanchez knock out? He's not durable at all. You guys have already touched on it. He's coming back way too soon. From his last knockout loss. I don't like the way that he reacts to shots or charges forward with his chin in the air. Alby, you know, he's very durable. He can't really be wrestled. He's live to counter. He's got power in his hands. He's old, but he knows, you know, he knows what he's good at and he sticks to it. You know, and like you guys said, like the huge point on this for me is like, you know, he got finished 2 months ago. Like, why is he coming back so quickly? It just doesn't make any sense in my mind. Like you need more time to recover off of a knockout loss to come back from that. You know, and if he was able to like grind Alby up against the cage or like take him down, like I would obviously like not be on Alby, but like you know, like Turman, you know, I don't think he's like a super great wrestler. Like he has better jits than his wrestling, and he's not even that big. Like Alby's quite a bit bigger than him in my opinion. So yeah, I'll probably be on Alby. I definitely think he's a side. I definitely think the under is a decent spot here too. I don't understand anyone who's playing tournament at all. I really don't think that he is. I don't think he's that good outside of like being a decent grappler. So yeah, the side is definitely Alby for me. Mike, what do you have here?
I don't have anything. I don't trust Alvy at 35. Like here's the thing with Alvy. He's probably the side here because Turman has looked like shit the last couple of fights. Like he got knocked out by Andrew Sanchez, who's not a big puncher. The last fight, like that knockout was fucking. I think he was knocked out, and then he ate like probably 4 or 5 more punches after he was knocked out. And you know, like you guys all said, you know, the quick turnaround. You know, I like what Andrew has, like that under, you know, 2.5 at -110. I like that play because here's the thing with Alvy. He used to fight at 205 for about 3 or 4 years. Now at 35, he decided to drop down to 85. And guess what? We saw him against Marquez last fight. He got rocked bad before he fucking got choked out. So maybe that weight cut is hurting his chin. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going from 205 to 85 at 35 years old. That might be taken away from your chin because Marquez, we saw it. I mean, he got rocked in his first time at 85 in 3 years, you know, and now you're fighting a guy, Thurman, you know, he still throws hard and he's probably going to try to grapple. But like, if there's any play here or any side, I probably would play the under 2.5 and now it's at 125 for me. Andrew got at 110. I still might play it honestly, because I think that's probably the best play instead of taking a side.
At 125 still isn't bad. In my opinion for that. Okay, great. So we move on here. Next matchup, I'm going to butcher his name. We have Alicia De Chirico taking on Abdul Al Hassan. I have no play. I definitely like De Chirico here. I haven't been impressed with Al Hassan at all in his run in the UFC. Pretty much all of his wins have come by first round knockout, and then afterwards he just doesn't really have much processor game. I think he's a shit grappler. You know, De Chirico, I think he's definitely an underrated puncher. He has more tools. He's got longer reach here. He does use his wrestling and can grapple, and I think he can mix it in here. Yeah, I'm not interested really in playing De Chirico at like, what is he, -230 or something like that. Because, you know, Abdul will definitely come out in round 1 and go hard. So I think if you do like Chirico, you could probably play him after round 1 live. Catch a live bet spot here. so that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. I just don't really know why the UFC likes Al Hassan so much. He had a couple of cool KOs, like big deal. I don't really think he's very talented. So yeah, live bet option for me here. Andrew, what do you have?
Yeah, so I don't have anything on this fight at the moment. So last Al Hassan fight, I had Malkoun round 3 at plus 2,800, and I had Malkoun sub at plus 1,600. So that was like one of the most frustrating bad beats of all time. Malkoun put him in like 18 different chokes and just couldn't finish him. So I was freaking jumping up and down. But yeah, we all know what Al Hassan is. It's no secret anymore. All his fights have been round 1 KOs. So I think if you're going to play him, that's probably either play round 1 KO or KO. I don't think there's any reason in playing the money line here. I don't really see him winning a decision against anyone. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. I think the later in the fight it goes, the better for Chirico, but that's not exactly a secret.
Agree, 100%. Marathon, what do you got here?
Yeah, I actually do have Alessio in a parlay for a couple units. He's got superior cardio. He's fought really good competition. He's got a good chin, and Al Hassan's only path is to sleep him. Al Hassan's pretty round 1 or bust, and I trust Alessio's durability. He is a legit 185er. Al Hassan isn't a real middleweight. And like I said, round 1 or bust, and the longer the fight goes, like Andrew said, it just favors Alessio significantly. Like, this is the guy that took a 3rd round against Mirdov, who's one of our – he took the 3rd round on all 3 scorecards against Mirdov. So, and the fact that he has wrestling if he wants it. I mean, he just did a full training camp for a Russian. You know what I mean? He's been drilling wrestling. He could shoot a takedown against Al Hassan and then probably just win the round. Like, you're not even going to be able to get up. So, good chin, more durable, legit 185er, better competition, superior cardio, and wrestling if he wants it. So I think the price tag is justified. I think you could trust him in parlays, and probably a decision here. I don't think Al Hassan's going to go out easily, but I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes him in the 3rd round either.
Cool, man. Mike, what do you got here?
I mean, they both hit all the points. Like Al Hassan. So when I tape this fight again, you go back and look, and DiCirico, I kind of compare Al Hassan to 2 guys that DiCirico stopped in the UFC, who's Olawale Bangobose or whatever the hell his name was, and Joaquin Buckley. You know, those are 2 guys that are very similar to Al Hassan. They throw with heat, both of them power punchers, you know, kind of similar builds to Al Hassan. And he the thing with DiCirico, he's a really good technical striker. You know, yeah, you know, he's better everywhere, like better on the ground, better on their feet. The only thing I could say is, you know, Al Hassan has more power, but like he's not technical. He's, you know, I just don't see anywhere where he's going to beat DiCirico in this fight other than landing a bomb. And so, but at the end of the day, I think ADC is going to stop him here. And for me, I took the under 2.5. I played the under 2.5 just in case Al Hassan lands that bomb in the first round, because I think if he does chin check him, I think he could put just about anybody out, because he does have that type of power.
Yeah, and DiCirico's been knocked down. You know, he got knocked out by Cummins.
Yeah, so I think that was a kick though, right, from Cummings, wasn't it?
The kick, I thought it was a counter.
I thought it was a head kick, but I don't remember for sure. But the thing is, I took the under 2.5 at minus 112. If you know, Al Hassan doesn't stop him in that first round, like he's gonna get stopped. So under 2.5 minus 212, I think is the play for me.
Cool. All right, we move on here. We have Miradov taking on Jerome Mearshart. Marathon, I'll start with you. Oh, crap.
Are we good? Yeah, I'm unloading the clip here on Miradov, man. I'm really high on him. Probably one of the 3 highest I'm on as a prospect in the whole UFC. I just think, this is just a huge mismatch on the feet. It's not even going to be close. Miradov has body work. He goes to the legs. He's gonna hit you everywhere. And we saw it happen last time GM3 fought a height and he fucking shit his pants. So, GM3 is gonna do good against other gatekeepers in the division and maybe get an early sub on some of these guys. But as far as getting a sub on Miradov, I just don't see it. Like he has to get it in the first round early on while they're dry, or he's fucked because Miradov is a slow starter. We know that, and he's a flow guy. Once he gets into his flow, he's just you're fucked. So, yeah, GM3's early sub or bust. We know GM3. We know this guy. He's had 50 pro fights. Like we've taped so many of these dudes fights. Like we know this guy, and we know he's not going to beat Miradov. We know what he needs to do to be able to have a fucking chance in hell. So if you're going to play him, play round 1 sub, because that's pretty much his only chance. The fight starts standing, and Miradov is going to look pretty. It's going to be a pretty big mismatch on the feet, in my opinion. And I trust him. I trust his grappling. Like this dude has championship aspirations. He's not here to just crack the top 15. This dude's not here to just get a paycheck. Like he's got money. He's the Dana White of Uzbekistan. Like this dude runs his own fight promotion. He's got money. He is here for a belt, and I think that we see this dude string along a lot of wins until he hits the top 5. So, yeah, I'm all over Miradov here. Probably gets a finish. I'd say second or third round. Maybe like a round 2 or 3 prop wouldn't be a bad idea. But me personally, I'm just gonna I laid the number minus 400. And I kind of checked in with Andrew before I laid that. I didn't really know if I should. But then again, when I just think that he wins this fight 9 times out of 10, and there's no way in hell Mearshart submits him unless it's early, I had to lay it. So, yeah, I'm definitely unloading the clip here, and you got to take advantage of these mismatches because, Miradov's going to be probably a significant favorite again in his next fight. So I'm going to take advantage until he hits the top 15 for sure.
Cool, man. Andrew, what do you got here? Are you on? I think you're on mute. Oh,
Good.
Yeah, we're
cool. No, I was just saying I have nothing here as of right now. When Miradov was like minus 400, I was like, yeah, that probably makes sense. I mean, now minus 750, you might kind of start be getting into crazy range. I mean, GM3 like isn't some scrub, and if you look at Miradov, like I like Miradov too, like everyone does, but his 3 wins in the UFC are against Alessio Di Chirico, Trevor Smith, and Andrew Sanchez, and like I don't know, I'm not interested in playing a crazy number on a guy who's that unproven. I mean, like I said, he looks good. I'm not out here saying that this line's off or anything, but I have a hard time thinking you could get value on this juice of a line with a guy like Miradov.
sorry. Yeah, I completely agree. I like Miradov here. I think he finishes GM3 personally within like probably the first couple of rounds. I don't mind that round 2 stab for Miradov. Yeah, like you guys said, we know all about GM3's game. We know that he is getting up there in age. He's been through some fucking wars. He's mainly a grappler. But his wrestling isn't that good, and I don't think that he's going to really have much success grinding Miradov here and on the feet at range. It's going to be a pretty big mismatch. Like I know that GM3 throws volume, but he's very hittable. He doesn't move his head. And Miradov, he'll go to the legs to open up the head. He'll rip the body. Like he's got very, very good striking. I have no play here. Like Andrew said, I have no interest in laying juice on minus 700 guy with 3 UFC fights, but I definitely think he finishes GM3 here for sure. Mike, what do you got here?
I don't have a play, but I agree with what Marathon said. Like, Miradov has very, very good boxing, really good jab, very, very good footwork. I mean, his footwork is amazing, man. And like GM3 is going to be lost on the feet. Like he's fucked, to be honest. I just, the thing is, I didn't get it early. I'm not going to lay 620 on anyone, to be honest. I don't like laying that type of juice on anyone. I'm not laying that price, but if you got in early, I think you know, he is value. Like I understand GM3 has a good sub game, but this guy has 100% takedown defense. Dude is really good, you know, grabbing those underhooks. Like he's not going to let you take him down. And GM3 is not the best wrestler. So he's fucked, dude. It's going to be standing, and he's just going to, you know, I looked at the round 2, round 3 prop earlier in the week, and like, I like that idea for Marathon, but the price was just so low, dude. Like the books are on it, man. It's like plus 340 or something. Like you can't play a round 2 prop at plus 340, you know? And then the round 3 prop, I think it was in the range of like 750, 800 or something like that. Like it was just too shallow for me to play. You know, I had Muradov in his last fight at round 3, and I think I had like a nice tag, like plus 1600 or something last fight, and he came through against Andrew Sanchez. But yeah, the price is just way too shallow for me to play, but I do believe he's stopping him in round 2 or 3.
Cool. Yeah, we are all in agreement on that one. All right, so we move on here. We've got Andre Petrosky taking on Michael Gilmore. I'll start here. I have no play, but I think Petrosky absolute shit can. Is not going to go very far in the UFC. I have no idea why Dana White likes this dude so much. Like I remember, I watched the whole Ultimate Fighter, and I remember Dana saying, "Oh, I thought this dude was going to win the whole competition." And then he gets, he wrestles Brian Battle, wins the first round 10-9. And then Brian figures him out in the clinch, and then subs him up against the fence with the guillotine. Like that was just like. It was just pathetic submission defense, and I don't know. I don't really ever want to lay the price on a guy who I think is a terrible fighter. I think the UFC is giving him an absolutely fantastic matchup. I mean, I don't think Gilmore really has much for him. Gilmore's regional level competition is absolutely horrible. I think the best win is the guy was like. Here, let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, the guy's 6-3, and this is who he has faced. Like it's just mind blowing that they're giving this dude a chance in the UFC at all. So yeah, I think that it's definitely a good matchup for Petrosky, but he's on my face 100%. Yeah, like the dude's faced a 1-1, 2-2 fighter, 2-3 fighter, and then a 3-2 fighter. Like they have. Yeah, Gilmore he's going to get cut after this fight. Brought him in to lose to Petrosky for some reason. So no play for me, but I do think Petrosky finishes him. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think Petrosky's it's like a knife going through hot butter, dude. Like this guy Gilmore has nothing for him. His takedown defense sucks. His ground game is non-existent. The thing I'll give him, like, he's got to win over Chaos Williams in the amateurs. I have no idea how he beat him, but like his tape is just fucking terrible. He doesn't look good. I think Dana White is just doing him a favor because he quit his job. There was a story where he quit his job. He hung around Vegas to try to get a shot at the contender if someone was to fall out, and someone happened to fall out because of injury, and he came in on 1 day's notice and fought Urbina. Who's that's the other thing. Gilmore's technically a 170 pounder. He's not an 85er. He fought Urbina, who's also probably 170 pounder, who absolutely just sliced through him, got him to the ground, like had his back, and just subbed him pretty easily. Now he's fighting a legit 85er who's much stronger than Urbina, who's got better grappling than Urbina and better wrestling. Like, what's going to happen, right? He's probably going to take him down. He's probably going to sub him or even ground and pound. So, like, I don't have a play because I'm not going to lay the 525. I kind of looked at the in the inside the distance line for Petrosky. That's too juiced too. I think that's in the 200 range. So I couldn't find a play because I didn't get in early. But I don't see Gilmore. Like, if Gilmore happens to pass the 7.5 minute mark, he might have a chance because of Petrosky. He gasses so bad. Like, he gassed against Aaron Jeffrey in the LFA. He had like 6 minutes of gas. After that, like, And another thing I do see with Petrosky is like when he does start to gas and people kind of like give him some pushback, he kind of like fucking crumbles and gives up, which is what he did with Battle, which is what he did with Aaron Jeffrey. In both fights, he pretty much gave up. So like I don't like to see that in a fighter. I don't like to see the bad gas tank in a fighter. So how could you possibly lay 500 with this guy, even put him in parlays when he has a bad gas tank and you see that he basically gives up when he's tired and he gets pushed back on. So like I can't justify that, but you know, if you did get a good side inside the distance line or a good round one prop, I mean, you know, a round one, then that's good. But I stayed away.
Cool, man. Marathon, what do you got here?
Yeah, so this is a total mismatch, and I've made my brand on capitalizing on these. Like I've watched tape on Gilmore, and he has some of the worst sub defense that I've ever seen off of any fighter I've ever taped. He'll just give it up, and I just it just feels like this dude's getting brought in here to lose, just like the Ultimate Fighter, just like the same situation with the Ultimate Fighter. Feels like this dude's not getting a fair shake, but he shouldn't because he's not talented enough to be in the UFC. So I would say, all three of his losses are by sub. He's here to lose. We're saying Petrosky's gas tank is sus, and when he gets some pushback, and but this guy's not gonna give him anything. So there's not gonna be a chance really for him to gas unless this dude somehow. You got to think if Petrosky's not getting the sub, he's just gonna be ground and pounding you on top. He's not gonna be gassing. He's just gonna be heavy on top, probably in half guard. And he's just going to be beating the fuck out of this dude. So how's he going to guess? Because this dude has nothing for him. So it just feels like a tailor-made matchup. Like Petrosky's a pretty small as far as I mean, obviously the dude's thick, but he's actually going to be like taller and longer than somebody in 185 for once, which is even more crazy. Like Gilmore is not a 185er. So he just doesn't have the tools to be able to take advantage of Petrosky's bad gas tank. And I think round one sub is probably a good play. I got in on Petrosky on a parlay minus 300 pretty early, which is actually a pretty good price. I feel like that's a price you could lay there. Round one sub, and then probably under 1.5 minus 140. Like you just got to capitalize on these mismatches, man. This is just pathetic matchmaking.
Cool. Andrew, what do you got here?
Yeah, you guys pretty much covered it. I don't need to totally add on much, but yeah, Petrosky sub.
Cool. Real quick, we'll move on. Great matchup here. One of my favorite fights in the card. We got Kevin Lee taking on Daniel Rodriguez. This is another one where I'm like still like debating on whether I should be playing Lee. I definitely think he has a pretty significant advantage on the mat here. Outside of all of Lee's flaws, he's an absolutely fantastic wrestler. And I do think at 170, his cardio and durability are a little bit better. I love Rodriguez. I have nothing but good things to say about the dude. I've won tons of money on him. But this is a pretty insane level step up in competition here, going from Parsons to Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee has been fighting pretty much elite competition ever since he's been in the UFC. He's definitely let a lot of us down, especially, like losing to Alakita twice after dominating him. Just, not a very good look. But I definitely think this is a good fight for him as long as his gas tank holds up. D-Rod, we know he's a 10th Planet Purple Belt, so I assume he's going to be willing to play back. I mean, start off of his back, his takedown defense. We haven't seen a whole lot of it, but Lee's going to be able to take him down and grapple him and grind him. Like, I have pretty much no doubt about that. It's just like, in my opinion, it's just like, is Lee going to gas and is he going to quit and give up like he has so much in the past? I'm not sure, and on the feet, D-Rod's boxing is absolutely fantastic. So I definitely think that it's going to be close on the feet, if not like a slight lean to D-Rod. But if Lee grapples here, in my opinion, he probably finishes him or grinds him out. To win a decision, I just haven't really decided yet what I want to do with the fight, but the pick for me is Kevin Lee. Andrew, what do you got here?
Yeah, so this is another matchup, kind of like I talked about the Kennedy fight earlier, where there's multiple ways to go about it. I think the under 2.5 is a good spot. I think Lee could dice him up on the mat. I think, to your point, D-Rod's a monster on the feet. Um, so yeah, it's kind of binary to me in that sense. Like Kevin Lee's not bad on the feet, but I think the longer it stays on the feet, the better it is for D-Rod. I don't think too many people would debate that. And then if you look at like some of the grappling technique in the Mike Perry versus D-Rod fight was pretty. It was red flags for me. The way he was holding on to a guillotine, as Perry was getting in the side mount, he wasn't really digging for underhooks to get up off the mat. I don't like D-Rod's defensive grappling too much, so I favor Kevin Lee to win this fight. I think he ultimately finds the submission, but like I said, if he can't get this fight down to the ground, he could be screwed on the feet. Also, a big intangible is Kevin Lee coming off of 2 major surgeries. And if Kevin Lee was 40 coming off of 2
ACL.
major surgeries, it'd be a way bigger concern for me. But he's only 29. He's about to be 29 years old. So I'm not too worried about it, but it's just definitely something to keep in mind when analyzing this matchup.
Yep, agree 100%. Marathon, what do you got here?
Yeah, just too many red flags in this matchup for me. Like, what kind of version of Lee are we getting? Where's his head at? Coming off of ACL surgeries on both knees. How's his cardio? Is it going to shore up at 170? And then you look over to the D-Rod side, and it's just like, all right, well.
Oh, he just came out. All right, I think he'll come back. Mike, you want to give your take? Oh, nope, he's back.
Yeah.
Hold on one sec. Hold on, he's back.
Good.
Okay, word. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, so I don't know why it just kicked me out, but anyways, yeah, just too many red flags. And then D-Rod in media said that when he got the call that he was eating hot dogs and milkshakes at Disneyland. So he wasn't in camp, and they asked him how he's gonna win this fight, and he just said that he's just like, I'm gonna sprawl and brawl. And like Andrew said, there was too many red flags, and Mike Perry could have won that fight if he just realized he's a grappler. Daniel Rodriguez, just too many red flags, and I'm sure he's used to being, takedown attempts have been a thing for him his whole career. Not a lot of people want to stand with him, but it just seems like if you look at his whole resume, he's never fought anyone like Kevin Lee with this kind of like wrestling. Like this is some top 10 in the UFC whole roster wrestling that he's about to feel. And if it holds up for 3 rounds, he makes it look easy. You know what I mean? But then you look at the feet. I feel like D-Rod could probably just pump out a jab and just totally paint up Lee's face. So
D-Rod's boxing is fantastic.
Do I want to get involved in that? I really don't. So I actually think the over 2.5 minus 125 could be in play. I mean, if you get 2 good rounds of Lee's cardio, he could play it safe in the third, cash the over there. And then same thing, just D-Rod's super durable. You're probably not – I don't see him getting finished. Maybe a second round, third round sub for Lee, but that's if Lee top pressure's on point, wrestling is on point, cardio's on point.
Head is on point.
Yeah, like we could just see this fight just be kind of like a really just a weird fight, and I think it could go to decision. Like it wouldn't surprise me if Lee wins a 29-28 decision. And it wouldn't surprise me if Rodriguez won a 29-28 decision. So I think that the over 2.5 maybe would probably be the only way I would touch it. Just too many question marks in this fight. This is a good sit back and take notes for the next fight for these guys. This is a good place to collect some data. We're getting Lee back at 170, and we're going to see D-Rod against a legit grappler and, a big name. So this is a good collect data spot for me for sure.
Cool. Mike, what do you think?
So I kind of agree with the guys, but the only thing is I believe I have a play at under 2.5 at plus money at plus 112 or something like that. I just think I just see like big advantages for both guys in different areas. So Lee getting this fight to the ground, I think he has a huge advantage there, just because you know, the way, you know, in that Perry fight, not only to get taken down, like when he went to get back up, like, dude, he gave his back completely to Perry. Like, if you're gonna give your back to fucking Lee, you're fucked. He's gonna get that rear naked choke, man. It's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get it on him because he's gotten high level guys with that rear naked choke. So if that's to happen there, and happens to get him down, and Daniel does make that mistake that he made in the Perry fight, I think the rear naked choke is there for Lee. And then on the other hand, like, if this fight stays standing for a while, I just think, man, D-Rod's too fucking technical, too good on the feet. He's going to be the bigger guy. You know, you're talking about, you know, to me, like, Lee is in between 155 and 170. Is he a 170 pounder? I don't think so. Is he a 155er? No. He's probably in that between that, you know, that 160, 165 range, right? So this is going to be the biggest guy he's fought. You know, for whatever D-Rod is, he does have good takedown defense. I mean, he's got, it's over 80%, I believe, in the UFC. You know, Dalby was 0 for 7 against him. I forgot all the other stats, but the thing is, like, yeah, Perry took him down, but I think Perry's also probably he's bigger than Lee. Yeah, Lee has the better wrestling for sure, but he's also a bigger guy. He's a thicker guy than Lee. Like I said, I do see Lee probably taking him down, but, you know, if D-Rod starts stuffing him and Lee's working harder and harder, I see him tiring, because now you got a legit 170 pounder laying on you and you know, getting you just more tired. I think it's gonna get Lee more tired, because this is the biggest guy he's faced. So, like, I just see both sides. So that's why I like the under at plus money. I think both guys can finish if it's to be in their realm of the game. So
Cool. Andrew, it's your turn.
For Kevin Lee.
Did you already go?
Yeah, I kicked this one off.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it.
Before I did this pod. All right. So this is my favorite matchup on the card. We have Brady Hystad taking on Ricky Tercios. So I have 2.5 units on Hystad here at plus 145. I easily price him my opinion at 60 to 65%. I don't really understand why the line is the way it is, why Tercios is a favorite here. Tercios, he looks good. He's got very good striking. He's faced some decent level of comp on the regional scene. But we've seen him taken down on the mat. He is scrambly, but like Brady, he's a specialist. He's a fantastic grappler. He's a very, very good wrestler. Very good on top. He trains with Michael Chiesa, who he's been working with for years. Craig Jones on The Ultimate Fighter said he has some fantastic jiu-jitsu, and he does. His transitions are very, very good. He sticks to you like butter, and he's going to be reliable to come forward and wrestle. And we've seen Tercios put on his back with essentially zero effort to defend the takedown. And I just think that's a recipe for disaster here. I don't really understand the line. Like, I don't understand it at all. I think his cardio issues are kind of overblown. I think he faced the better competition on The Ultimate Fighter, like versus Rittenhouse. Like that is a legit win, in my opinion. Rittenhouse has faced some really good level competition. He knocked out Morrisov on the regional scene, and he got handled. Tercios faced that guy, Shalin Ludwig, I think that was his name, and that guy is an absolute trash can. He's absolutely terrible. And Tercios, like, that was a war. Like they went to war together. Brady would grind the fuck out of that guy. So yeah, I personally don't understand the line. I think we're getting a fantastic value on it. So I jumped on it instantly. I know that there's some people that disagree with me, but I think Brady's gonna dominate come Saturday. Marathon, what do you think? Oh.
Yeah, I definitely think that Brady is the side. Just because the price is just so stupid.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Ricky's kind of just been like the fan favorite brawler, like Max Holloway, point at the fucking ground, keep your hands down, throw 15 punches in a brawl at the end of the fight and land 2 of them, and we all act like they just went to war. and it was a war, but it just felt really like fake, just kind of like these guys just want to get fans, Ricky's gonna be able to probably piece this dude up on the feet, just pumping out volumes. The better striker, but we know wrestling most of the time is the more as far as the betting line goes, it's the more favorable way to win. Brady should be able to land takedowns. I just can't really trust his cardio to hold up for 3 rounds. I mean, I think he does have a good 2 rounds. Maybe he could bank 2 rounds here wrestling, but Ricky's really, Ricky's got a lot of heart. He's really live to probably get a 3rd round finish here. But like you said, Rittenhouse has a lot better win. I remember taping Sergey Morozov and watching that fight with him and Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse was probably the favorite to win this tournament.
Yeah, no, he was.
Rittenhouse is a stud, man, and I remember watching tape on him with Morozov, and I was just thinking, wow, this dude's gonna win the Ultimate Fighter. And Brady went out there and made it look easy.
Up.
So yeah, and Brady's just bigger. He's just, I don't know. It just seems more of like just a brute at 135, man. So I do think as far as the price goes, and Brady by decision, the over 2.5. Both of those probably good bets. But yeah, it just comes down to if you trust Brady's cardio, then this is an instant play for you. This got to be a play for you. Yeah. But the cardio is the only question for me.
Cool. Andrew, what do you got here?
This and the other tough fight I actually haven't taped yet, so I got to get to that tomorrow. Been a busy week between LFA, PFL, and Invicta, and I haven't watched the season itself, so I still got to get to those. But you guys definitely have me intrigued.
Cool. Mike, what do you got?
I have nothing currently. Like if I was to take a side, I'd probably take Brady. But again, like Marathon emphasized, I don't trust this cardio. In that Rittenhouse fight, like I personally had it for Rittenhouse. I think he landed the better shots in that 3rd round. Like it wasn't a mauling like you're calling it, Quinn, because it was a much closer than that. But like you guys said, Rittenhouse is legit. The only thing I see is like Tercios is gonna make you work, bro. Like he's gonna make him work. And again, that cardio might come into play. My only little poke that I have is round 3. I took Tercios round 3 at plus 1,600. I just think that if it gets there and he makes Brady work, like he's gonna have the way better gas tank. And if Brady slows down as much as he did in that fight with Rittenhouse, even though it was a grueling fight, I just think Tercios' cardio is so much better, dude. Like he's gonna come for blood in that 3rd round. So if he's tired, he better be holding on for dear life. So that's my only thing. Like if he did have those 3 rounds of cardio, I would not hesitate to take Brady here. But for now, I'm passing. I just have a 3rd round poke on Tercios.
Cool. All right. So we move on. We have the other Ultimate Fighter fight. We have Brian Battle taking on Gilbert Urbina. Mike, I'll start with you.
I don't have a play on this either. Like I watched the Contender Series really, the whole time. I'm sorry, it was not Contender Series, Ultimate Fighter, and like Brian Battle to me was like, he's mad. He's not really good anywhere. Like, but then you watch him, like he's good in the clinch. He's really good in the clinch, elbows. He's good good takedown defense. Urbina, like I said earlier, the dude is not an 85er, dude. He's a 170 pounder. He's going to be undersized here against a guy with good takedown defense. And I don't really like Urbina's like wrestling. It's not all that. His jiu-jitsu is not all that. So like, I just think this is going to stay standing for the most part. I do, is Battle going to stop him? Because Battle doesn't have the best striking. So I'm not really sure if he's going to stop him, but if I was to pick a side, I'd probably pick Brian Battle here. I just think he's just the better fighter. He's the cleaner fighter.
Cool. Marathon, what do you got?
I think Battle wins. I think Battle's probably better everywhere this fight goes. Urbina is a blown up middleweight, doesn't really do anything great. He's primarily a wrestler if you go look into his background, and he doesn't really use it. And he got subbed. I don't know, man. It just feels like Battle's probably better everywhere. We're seeing leaps in Battle's game every fight. He's getting better. He's improving each fight. He's got an impressive amateur record. He beat Impa Kasagna in the regional scene. I think he even had a couple 10-8s, maybe one or two 10-8s in that fight. I just think that he's probably better everywhere. I don't like the price. Urbina's taking this fight on short notice. Battle knew he had this finale coming up. He knew he had an opponent. He's going to fight somebody in Sean Gore, who is probably going to be a favorite over him. So now you get Urbina to win the finale. It seems like a pretty good gig to me, So you go from Chashawn Gore to this matchup. I think it's very favorable for him. And, it just ask yourself, what does Gilbert Urbina do better than Battle? Because Battle matches him in size. He's a legit 185er. Better amateur regional experience, better wins. Just feels like it's a big win for him taking this fight instead of Chashawn Gore, where he probably would have been a dog.
Cool. Andrew, you got anything on this fight?
This is the other tough fight, right? I don't think I taped this one. I walked away for a second.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I didn't tape it.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. I have no play on this fight. I honestly didn't tape it either. I wasn't impressed with either guy on the Ultimate Fighter. I thought the line could have been a little bit wide. But yeah, I really have no call on this. I have no interest in this fight, like, at all. I'll probably go buy some beer when this fight is on, to be honest with you. So yeah, nothing for me here. We will move on. We got the main event here. We've got Edson Barbosa taking on Giga Chikadze. Mike, I'll start with you on this one.
To me, this is a fight where, Giga is stepping up to a whole different level of striking. Like, I know the guy's a good striker, but to me, his hands are not all that good. Like, his defense is all not that good. Like, yeah, he's got very good kicks. He's a glory kickboxer, but I don't think he has the best hands. I don't think his defense is all that good. I don't think his cardio is all that good. His ground game is obviously not good. So, like, I just think Giga's I'm sorry, I just think Edson's better everywhere, dude. Like, he's more durable. I think he's got the better boxing. He's got the cleaner boxing. He's got the better defense. He's got the better cardio. I mean, better jiu-jitsu, better wrestling, you name it. I think he has it here. I think this line is kind of mind-boggling that I got Edson at minus 105. I honestly think he should be in the 170, 180 range here. I love Edson. I have a lot of units on Edson here. I have some units on the under 4.5 because I don't think it's going to get there. I'm not going to discount everything from Giga because, he's got really nice, long kicks, good kicks. The Giga kick can put you out. Like, but you go back and look at who he's faced, dude. Like, Brandon Davis fought, it was a fucking war with Brandon Davis, You go back and watch Emmers, right? Emmers fucked up that fight. Emmers should have won that fight if he decided to grapple earlier. He decided to wait and try to outstrike him for whatever reason, which didn't work out. But, like, the competition level that Edson's faced compared to Giga is night and day. And then the last thing to look at is the attrition, right? This guy's never been put through that gauntlet, man. He's never been through those big wars. Like, Edson's going to give you a war, man. And how is Giga going to respond to that? We know how Edson responds. We just saw it in the last fight against Burgos. Burgos is a warrior. And how did he respond? Like, he fucked up Burgos in the third round. And Burgos is a fucking durable dude. So, now you're going down to Giga. Like, I just think it's a step down, to be honest, for him from who he's fought previously. And it's a huge step up for Giga here. I just don't see, unless he lands some big leg kick in the first or second round, I think he's toast later on for sure. And not to say Edson can't take him out in the first couple of rounds, to be honest. So I have the under 4.5. I played the under 4.5 at minus 115 or something like that. And then I got a bunch of Edson at minus 105.
Cool. Yeah, no, I am in 100% agreement with you. I played Edson at like minus 101 for 3 units like last week sometime. Everyone who talks to me about MMA knows that I think Giga is absolutely terrible for MMA. I think he's gotten some pretty favorable matchups. Like you said, the Emmers fight was super frustrating. We all had Emmers, and him not choosing to grapple till the last minute was very, very annoying. I love Edson at 145. He got the weight cut down. Um, he's huge for the division. And Giga's going to give him the type of fight that he wants. He's going to stay at range and he's going to kickbox with him. Giga has no grappling upside. Edson is definitely the better grappler, and he can land takedowns. And I do think he will mix it in and land a couple takedowns here. But he's got the better kicks. He's a way better boxer. We saw what happened last time. Someone tried to stay toe to toe and kick with Edson. Like Hooker got fucked up. Like that was one of the most brutal fights I've ever seen. Like it was insane. I don't think Giga's ready for the spot at all. I don't think Giga should be top 10 at featherweight at all. I think there is so many fighters that can beat Giga in that division. I just think this is an insane step up in competition for him. Like he called out Max Holloway, he called out Qatar. Like those guys would fuck him up so bad. So yeah, I don't understand this line. I might even add a little bit more since it's not really moving at all. And I definitely think you can hit the under. I do think Edson finishes him. I just think he's gonna fucking tee off on Giga here. So yeah, 3 units on him for me at -101. Marathon, what do you got here?
Yeah, definitely on the Edson side. I got 3 units, -105. I think most of the points were already touched up on. Just a joke of a line, and it's a little sus that the line's not moving, considering that everyone and their mother is on Edson. So I don't really need to get really into it. I just Edson, huge step up. Edson's fought way better competition, way more experience. He's been in the bright lights. This is just another bit prospect for him. This is just another day in the life of Edson. Like, oh shit, another prospect. Like he just got done fighting Shane Burgos, who everyone thought was this fucking demigod at 145, which he is, and he went out there and he fucking probably ruined the dude's shin. You know what I mean? Like it's just another day, and this is the biggest fight of Giga's career. If he doesn't get Edson out in the first round or two, he's probably fucked. And what is like the Giga kick? Cool. It's, like, have you never seen someone get fucking hit with a head kick or a liver kick? Like you finished Cub Swanson, an old Cub Swanson. You might have even lost to the dude that's fucking one of the first fights on this card that you're main eventing, and now you're a pick'em with Edson Barboza, who's coming off a career performance looking like Bantamweight Aldo. Like this dude literally looks like a bully at 145 right now. Like
he's fantastic.
The cardio and the cardio's improved since the weight cut. It's shored up. He's looked great late in fights. Like I don't see it. I feel like if Edson wants to come out here and just throw some leg kicks early on, he'll limit Giga the rest of the fight. Kick him a few times and then, oh shit, Giga's fighting you on one leg. Now what? You know what I mean? Like that, it could really be that easy for him, I think. So, yeah, joke of a line. Definitely pumped to get in on it at 105. And I feel like it's just an auto bet, man. It has to be an auto bet.
One more thing to add. Like Edson's been 5 rounds, right? Giga's never been there. He doesn't know what it feels like to go 5 rounds.
No,
like we saw him slow down big time in that Emmers fight in the third. Like, I don't know, man. This like Marathon said, it's fucking so fishy that this line is not moving. I think it moved to 125,
it doesn't make any sense.
Then now it popped right back down to 115. I don't know if it's like Joe Schmo regular just loves Giga, or he's hyped up, or I don't know what the deal is. But like the MMA community, like everybody you talk to, everybody's on fucking Edson. And this line is just literally.
I just hope he doesn't have an injury or there's something that people know that we don't.
Do the books know something about him? I don't
know. Or it could just be that nobody actually bets the plays that they post. That's another thing to factor in.
I mean, from the people that are actually saying it, and I'm gonna go with what they're saying. Everybody and their mothers is on Edson.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm on Edson big. It's crazy that this line is what it is. That's I don't understand it. I don't know why the books are keeping it here, and that's what's scaring me even more. But
100%.
It is what it is. I gotta go with what I see on tape, and that's what I trust.
Yep, yes we do. All right, Andrew, you're it.
Cool. So yeah, I know there's a lot of people in the space that have kind of been big on the fade Giga train over his UFC career. I'm not one of them. I bet him against Erwin Rivera. I bet Cubs small against him, but I'm not one of those people who's like been ready to fade him at every corner, which there have been a lot of those. But I do think like I don't get how you play him at minus money against Edson Barboza when this is what Edson Barboza has proven to be one of the best in the UFC at, which is a kickboxing match. Essentially, they're going to go have a kickboxing match, and until you show me, you could like. I did a little video on this and I called it a show me spot. Like I'm going to play Edson here. And like, if you show me you're a better kickboxer than Edson Barboza and I got minus 106 on it, okay, I'll eat it on the chin. But like, I just don't see how you could be betting Giga at minus anything against Edson Barboza in a kickboxing match. Like how many people at 145 or 155, just like over the years, would you take at evens against Edson Barboza in a kickboxing match? Like not many, if any, not like you wouldn't take many. So yeah, I picked up a little Edson minus 106. I have a little KO at, plus 310, and I have some fight doesn't go to decision as well, like minus 125. So again, not like a huge bet or anything, but show me spot. I think Edson should be like, I don't know, minus 150, minus 175 here. Until proven otherwise, I'm going with him in a kickboxing match.
It's a great line on doesn't go the distance. Is that has to have been bet up?
Wait, let me double check that I got that.
What'd you get?
Shooting off the hip.
Doesn't go the minus 125.
Wow, that's good.
Wait. Maybe I said that wrong. I'm double checking. I got.
No, you're probably right.
Oh, under 4.5.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, I got that too. Yeah, I got a little less. I think I got it at like minus 112.
Yeah, I think that's a really good spot, honestly. Like, just in general, like 145-pound kickboxing matches, there's a pretty good chance someone's gonna get knocked out, or someone's gonna get hit to the liver, or someone's leg is gonna fall off. You know.
I honestly don't think Giga can last 5 rounds in a stand-up fight with Edson. He's not
at all.
Dude, his hands are much better than fucking Giga's hands.
Dude, it's way harder too. It's way harder.
Jamal Emmers outlanded Giga at distance.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I mean his hands are okay, but it's his kicks that are kind of like the equalizer for him. And I honestly like in that Cub Swanson fight, like I had Cub. Like if Cub doesn't fold up in the first round, I think if he takes that later in that fight goes later, Cub's probably going to take over. But like we can't say if I know he got caught, whatever. But Edson's body, I'm just gonna assume that Edson's body's a lot more in shape than Cub's was.
Yep, 100%. We are all in agreement. This line is insane. This main event is insane. Don't think Giga deserves a spot personally, but you know what? We take advantage of those opportunities. So that's a wrap on that. Mike, do you still want to go over our PFL plays, or do you not have time?
Nah, you know who I have already for a bunch.
All right, cool.
I got Bobby Moffitt at plus 155.
Yep, I got Moffitt.
I got in very early. I mean, that line's long gone now, but I try to tell all you guys. I was begging everybody to bet him when he was plus 155.
I have the line. I was gonna. I shouldn't have. I got in on pretty. I think I got him on like at minus 115. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I have Moffitt. I've got Corey Hendricks at like minus 101. I have Jenkins in a parlay with Miradov. Oh, I forgot to talk about that. And then I also have Hamlet at like minus 150. So I think that's also just another super great card to bet. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's on tomorrow. ESPN. It's going to be fantastic. Anything else you guys want to say, or should we wrap it up? Cool. Okay. Cool. You can find me on Twitter at Orthodox1993. My name's Quinn. My bet MMA is QPesh666. You can find Mike on Twitter at narcocop MMA. You can find Andrew on Twitter at MMA Knockout Bets. And you can also find Marathon MMA on Twitter at Marathon MMA. Good luck, everyone. Hope we all cash and win some money this weekend.
Take care, Andrew, Austin, Quinn. Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.
Time.
See you later, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Anytime.